Joanne Jones here to take you through the week that was on HRTV.
So we got a little bit of time, bullet drill.
All
Real
right.
quick, opening weekend at Gulfstream.
Okay.
So we went to Hallandale, Florida for this one. What's the population of Hallandale? People.
I don't know, 10,000.
34-ish.
Really?
Yeah, I think more in the wintertime than in the summer,
that's
obviously.
much bigger than I thought.
34,000-ish.
I didn't think it was that big. All
It's a
right.
Florida state bird. To kill a
Mockingbird?
mockingbird.
I wouldn't have known that. That doesn't count.
And the Hallandale High School mascot.
Like I'm supposed to know that?
Hallandale High School go...
Chargers?
Chargers.
Chargers?
How many Klein Silks crossed the finish line first at Gulfstream back in the day?
Gulfstream Park honored Spectacular Bid, who won 3 stakes races at the Hallandale track with his own stakes race on Saturday.
Spectacular Bid didn't need an introduction when he arrived on the Florida 3-year-old prep scene during the winter of 1979. The son of Bold Bidder was already the early Kentucky Derby favorite, following a juvenile campaign that saw him win 7 of 9 starts and the 2-year-old championship. Trainer Bud Delp mapped out an ambitious pre-Derby campaign for the steely gray colt he trained for Harry Meyerhoff's Hawksworth Farm. The Bid would run 5 times before the first Saturday in May, with his first 3 races coming at Gulfstream Park. Spectacular Bid made his sophomore debut in the Hutchinson on February 7th. With 20-year-old Ronnie Franklin in the saddle, Bid drew away from 3 opponents in the stretch for the easiest of victories in near track record time. Just 12 days later, Spectacular Bid was back in action in the Fountain of Youth. Only 5 rivals showed that afternoon, and Spectacular Bid left them in his wake as he streaked to an open-length victory. 27 days after beginning his Gulfstream Park assault, Spectacular Bid put a punctuation mark on his winter campaign at the Hallandale track. Sent off at 1-20 in the 29th running of the Florida Derby, he met 6 overmatched horses. Still, the race wasn't a walk in the park. The Bid had to overcome a poorly judged ride from Franklin, and yet still won by 4.5 lengths. His Florida Derby tour de force would be his last appearance at Gulfstream Park, but his racing career was far from over. He went on to win the Kentucky Derby and Preakness, and would return as a 4-year-old for an undefeated season that led to Horse of the Year honors.
They're into the stretch. Determinado running a big one on the outside. Gangster on the run tries to battle on. Here's War for Gus, trying to come and get them on the far outside. Determinado in front. Gangster on the run. War for Gus. Leave of absence closing late on the outside with Cane Garden Bay. Determinado wins the Spectacular Bid.
The Howes Hope Stakes marked the racing return of Windstar's Rule and was this week's Lane's End feature race.
Rule's domination in a pair of Delta Down stakes as a 2-year-old stamped the colt as a top Kentucky Derby contender.
But they're coming to the finish, and Rule is going to rule over this field. Rule will win the Delta Jackpot Stakes.
But his 3-year-old season was cut short when his connections placed him on the sidelines. A freshened Rule returns to the races today in the Howes Hope, his first race since finishing 3rd as the favorite in the March 2010 Florida Derby.
It was Rule in 3rd, and then came Lentinor.
Will the Windstar homebred pick up where he left off? Find out in the Howes Hope from Gulfstream Park.
I'm here at beautiful Gulfstream Park with Todd Pletcher, the trainer of Rule. Rule's running in the Grade 3 Howes Hope today. Todd, we know that this Windstar Farm homebred is a serious horse. He's won 4 of 7 lifetime starts, but he only ran twice early in 2010. Do you think he's come back at the same level? Is this horse the same horse?
He's been training as well as he ever did as a 2- and 3-year-old, so I anticipate he'd come back and run well. Of course, we're going up against a horse like Morning Lion that has a lot more recency than we do, but we're expecting a good effort.
Hey, we can see from the form this horse is working regularly, and he must be fit, but what's he like mentally? How's his attitude?
I particularly like his last couple of works. You know, he's been a little more focused than usual. He's finished up well and galloped out strongly, so I think his mind's in the game.
It is in the game. Okay, now this horse has won both of his previous lifetime starts at 1 mile. Do you think that's his best distance?
I think he's versatile enough that he probably gets 1 mile and an eighth with no problem, and that's what we're hoping for.
Okay, and what do you see for this horse's future?
Well, if things go well today, we'd like to come back in the Don Handicap next.
Last night when I got home, I was looking on my email and I saw something from Facebook that all I could say was, "Aw." It looks like you had a baby for WinStar, and it's a half-sister.
That's right. That's right. It's on Facebook. And
this was the cutest picture I ever saw.
Went to see her this morning. She's gorgeous, and told her that I hoped her bigger brother was going to make her proud this afternoon about 5 o'clock.
3/4 in 110 and 1. They're into the stretch, and Soaring Empire has taken the lead. Rule on the outside comes on. Morning Line taken off the rail, but it's Soaring Empire in front. On the outside, Rule. Morning Line third at the rail. Soaring Empire, Rule and Morning Line. Soaring Empire wins the Hell's Hope. Rule was second, Morning Line was third, and then Tackleberry.
A trio of other Grade 3 events highlighted Gulfstream's opening weekend.
Final Mesa, down to the 8th pole, puts away Pomeroy's Pistol. Center of the track, Roxy Gap is third, but far behind Final Mesa. And now Pomeroy's Pistol switches outside, but Final Mesa will take the old hat. On the outside comes Blue Street. Oh, Battle of Hastings got caught in traffic. Little Mike to catch. Blue Street is coming on the outside. Here comes Blue Streak. Little Mike at the rail. Blue Street to the outside. These two to the wire. Blue Street or Little Mike persuading in front. Trip for AJ, just around midnight to the outside. Center of the course, it's Cherokee Queen into the final furlong. Persuading, trying to keep the lead. Trip for AJ. Here's just around midnight to the outside. Just around midnight, gets up.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
Ramon going for 5, and he's got it. Quite an afternoon for Ramon Dominguez. 5 winners.
West Rock Coffee First Call does continue live from Clocker's Corner here in Southern California. Jeff Siegel, Aaron Vercruci. Now, earlier this morning, I saw pink polka dots on a jockey's helmet and a pink fuzzy ball. I figured Chantal was in town.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jeff Siegel's Future Stars showcase promising maiden winners this week around the country.
This week's first Future Star is a Richard Mandela-trained filly named Rumor, who made her racing debut in a maiden special weight 6-furlong sprint at Santa Anita on New Year's Eve.
And Rumour's now kicked away. Bauble Queen finishing game leader, never going to get to Rumour.
Rumor is a daughter of Indian Charlie from the dam of Grade 1 Norfolk Stakes winner Dixie Chatter, and her second dam is Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly winner Phone Chatter. Her margin of victory was 6 3/4 lengths, and the final time of 1:07 was one of the fastest ever for a first-time starting filly at Santa Anita. Next, we'll head to New Orleans, where trainer Neil Howard unveiled a very promising 3-year-old named Mackin, who made his debut at Fairgrounds in a maiden race at 6 furlongs on January 2nd.
Here's Mackin. Mackin just fleeing the scene.
A homebred colt owned by Cortland Farm, Mackin is the son of Distorted Humor, and he's the first foal from the multiple graded stakes winning mare Reddy's Gal. His buyer figure was a powerful 95. Finally, we'll look at a debuting son of the noted speed sire Trippy. His name is Travelin' Man, and he made his first appearance in a 6-furlong maiden sprint at Gulfstream Park January 6th.
And Travelin' Man is running away.
The official margin was 7 1/4 lengths for trainer Todd Pletcher. Travelin' Man is the first foal from the Gone West mare West Side Dancer, and his female family traces to AP Indy and Lemon Drop Kid. Those 3 future stars once again are Rumor, Mackin, and Travelin' Man.
Elliot Walden was on the phone with a look at WinStar Farms' Future Star Brethren.
You've got a half-brother to Super Say by the name of Brethren. Was very impressive back in November over Churchill. How's Brethren doing?
Brethren's doing great, and he is down at at Palmetto's with Todd in Super Saver's old stall, which is the #1 stall right outside Todd's office, and Uncle Mo's in #2. So Todd's loaded this year as he looks towards the classics again, and he's, he told me that obviously Uncle Mo is the best horse he has, best prospect he has, but he's very excited about Brethren as well, and he would rate Brethren his second best prospect going into the 3-year-olds. And for me, I'm happy with that because the horse is 2 for 2. He hadn't even won a stake yet, but for Todd to say that he's his second best prospect, I think we've got a future.
Wow.
Trainer Peter Miller also hopes he has a future star in Coming to the Top, who he discussed on Across the Board.
Being free running like that, can he be difficult to train in the morning?
He's absolutely wonderful to train. He just has a high cruising speed. He's not rank at all, as he showed in the cash call, where he sat off of another horse in the first part of the race. So no, he's actually probably the easiest horse in the barn to train.
Now, Peter brought up too the point about having that shoe repair. And that can often set a horse off, and also probably the trainer as well. Did it put more nerves in you?
Well, that was the longest half hour of my life. It was just excruciating, and the horse was getting very upset too, and he doesn't get upset. So I was unsure once we got the shoe on whether he'd run at all. I was worried that he had used up all his energy in the paddock, but he hadn't.
And there's that from the other trainers too. I mean, were they getting impatient?
Yes, they were, and I felt bad. But it was a grade 1. We had supplemented at $30,000 to supplement. There were a lot of gamblers that had the horse singled in the pick 6 and the pick 4. So I think they did the fair thing and the right thing.
Coming to the Top still hasn't been on a dirt surface. So what do you expect to see from here at Santa Anita? Where are you going to run, and what are you thinking about the dirt?
Well, the dirt shouldn't be an issue. He's won at Del Mar. He's won at Hollywood. He's won on the grass. He's won at Golden Gate. He was training at San Luis Rey with me before I moved my operation to Hollywood Park, and he trained beautifully on the dirt. So I don't think the dirt's going to be an issue at all with him. Going forward, we're probably looking at either the Bob and Beverly Lewis Stakes here at Santa Anita, or perhaps the El Camino Derby at Golden Gate.
Race Day America caught up with a pair of top jockeys earlier in the week. What is the greatest achievement in your career? Is it this, or is it still what you said once before, your 1,000th winner?
I tell you right now, I definitely have to say this is probably my greatest achievement right now. I mean, it was a lot of work and hard work, but it was definitely worth it.
Deshaun, you've had a lot of success through the years at Mountaineer. We've seen it on a day in and day out basis here on HRTV. But what was different about this year? What was able to catapult you above guys like Dominguez, Bays, Bejarano, and Rosario as we take a look at the final standings as far as wins? What was the difference?
In all honesty, I think my agent, he just really did his job this year, and he was working real hard. And I mean, he was, more determined to try to get it to this year, and I mean, and everything was just working out great. Horses were running, and I was just basically guiding them there and hanging on and just loving every minute of it.
You've been on fire. I think you were on the sideline with a wrist injury, so you spent the day with us. You went to Delaware, first woman to lead there, had great success in New York. What prompted you to go to Fairgrounds this winter?
Mike Sidham had been at Delaware for the past 2 years, and some other people from other trainers from the circuit, and they had tried to convince me to come last year, and I didn't come, and I wish I had, but so it's just kind of a different circuit, and it was a big change, and they've given me a great shot down here. I got a good agent down here that's got a ton of Louisiana business, and it seemed like it was going to work out well, so I figured I would give it a shot.
Jockey Ramon Dominguez is already off to a good start in 2011. He won 5 races on Aqueduct's Saturday card.
But it's all Jimmy Vegas to win the opener. And he's going to win here by 8 lengths. Thunder Wave has moved into third. They're inside the 16th pole. Another Silver Oak on the inside. Winning Wildcat on the outside. It's going to be tight. Photo finish. So Scott up to grab the lead. Felice Denote is second. Mount Karakoram is back running in third. Then LL Flying Notes. So Scott gives Ramon Dominguez his third winner. Moonlit Malibu in second. Late run from Daring Reality, but it's going to be Dance Quietly. Ramon on his fourth winner today. Life's Measure in front. Ramon going for 5, and he's got it. Quite an afternoon for Ramon Dominguez. 5 winners. Life's Measure takes the finale.
Zoe Cadman was at Clocker's Corner with another female jockey returning to the Santa Anita scene.
West Rock Coffee First Call does continue live from Clocker's Corner here in Southern California. Jeff Siegel and Vercruci. Now, earlier this morning, I saw pink polka dots on a jockey's helmet and a pink fuzzy ball. I figured Chantal was in town.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's go to Zoe Cadman. She's standing live with the jockette.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Actually, just saying about pink polka dots. I thought it was Bearano, but it's Chantal Sutherland. Chantal, we last saw you in the springtime. Where have you been and how have you been doing?
I was in Canada and had a really, really wonderful year. Thanks to all the trainers. And yeah, and I'm here now. Had a little holiday in Barbados, which was really nice, and a little riding in Trinidad.
Hence the suntan. You say you were in Canada. You were at Woodbine Racetrack. Where did you finish up in the standings?
I ended up third in the standings. I won 138 races. Had a good percentage. It was good. I was good to stay healthy and made a little money.
That's always very nice. Now, Trinidad. You say you were in Trinidad. How did you wind up in Trinidad? Did you ride any races there?
I did. And I mean, I don't know if they've had ever many girls there, but it was a really interesting experience. The racetrack itself, the surfaces were nice, and I kind of felt like a rock star. The fans were amazing, and it was something very different, very hot, really amazing, different.
Do we expect to see you ride the whole meet here at Santa Anita?
Yes, definitely. I'd love to be. This is my second home, and I'm so happy to be back. Everyone's so nice to me, and I'm really excited about the new track and excited to ride.
Up next on HRTV Rewind.
Do we have any word on any boyfriends for Big Z yet?
Oh, well, we're still looking them over. We have our own bachelor game going on over here, so we'll make a decision very soon.
Aggie Engineer in a great performance today. Aggie Engineer and Joe Talamo romp in the San Pasquales.
Hey, Rowan Ward, congratulations yesterday. Very, very nice, and don't tell those guys too much.
Santa Anita's Saturday card was highlighted by the Grade 2 San Pasquale Stakes.
Joe, you ride the Aggie Engineer in today's Grade 2 San Pasquale. You're in the one hole. You've won 2 in a row, and I'm going wire to wire. Is that the plan today?
We'll see. You know, I mean, ideally, I wish we could have drew outside, but I mean, that's part of horse racing. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear. I mean, ideally, we would like to go to the lead and take it wire to wire, but we'll see if any other horse sends, then we'll just have to go to plan B.
He's rode the horse a couple of times, and you know he's been on the lead, and he sat just off of it. So I hope it works out for him. It's his first time on dirt, so it'll be we're trying to see if he takes it. But he did work very well over it.
Now it happens a lot in Europe, but there's a couple of rabbits in there. Bob Baffert choosing to put a speed horse in there. What are your thoughts on that? Does it bother you at all?
Yeah, I think rabbits go good with a bit of cabbage or potatoes, but what can you do?
They're at the top of the lane, and Aggie Engineer travelling nicely on the grandstand side. Spuria the Grey coming to take them on now. Red Door Drive along the inside. Dakota Phone is getting going late, but now Aggie Engineer bursts away from them. Dakota Phone not doing enough down the centre, and it's all Aggie Engineer in a great performance today. Aggie Engineer and Joe Talamo romp in the San Pasquales.
Hey, Rowan Ward, congratulations yesterday. Very, very nice, and don't tell those guys too much. Good luck.
Trainer Patty Gallagher, the trainer of Aggie Engineer, passing on a message to the two people to my right. That was a big one, and I know that your trainer, Patty, has been saying that, this horse just seems to be coming into form, rounding in, and learning what the job is. I mean, that was a big step up, and you were carrying quite a bit of weight as well. So talk about the win for you.
Well, we were just all so excited because he is really on his game right now, and he just seems to be getting better and better. And I love the fact that Joe knows the horse so well. Joe's wonderful on him, and he can either get him up front or he can set the pace, whatever he wants. And the horse really responds to Joe, so we were very pleased.
Yeah, it's impossible not to be pleased winning a race like that.
I know.
Sunday at Santa Anita featured 3-year-old fillies in the Santa Isabel Stakes.
They come to the 16th, and Mayday Rose coming with a late run. Bluegrass Chatter is closing the gap late. Mayday Rose going to go all the way though, and Mayday Rose has won the Santa Isabel.
Yeah, that's her style. She wants to run in the lead, and she got the job done. I'd missed a work on her during the rain, so I was hoping their class would carry her, and it did today. So, but I want to say to Kaleem, this is his wife, birthday, Luby. Happy birthday, Luby. Here's your gift. I was going to send you another gift, but this is better.
Happy birthday, Luby. Rafi, tell me about your trip quickly.
Well, the horse, he broke, natural speed habit, so he broke in the top really easy. So I just tried to hold him, and get him relaxed in the beginning. So we are in a very good pace in the beginning, but then after that, he looked like as soon as I came to a stretch, he looked like he's getting tired a little bit. That's why I had to hit it just a couple times, to keep going, But she's a fighting horse.
Zenyatta's Connection stopped by Santa Anita for an update on their retired mare.
Been joined here by John Sheriffs all the way from Hollywood Park today at Santa Anita. We've just got one question that everybody wants to know. How is Zenyatta?
Zenyatta's doing great. We went out and visited her a couple of weeks ago. She's really relaxed and having fun in the paddock.
Now, you were there for her first turnout. You've had her for 5 years. How special was that for you to see her bucking and kicking and squealing?
It was a lot of fun for me and Mario and Carmen, and we had a whole large group there, Mr. and Mrs. Moss, so it was fun for everybody to share that moment.
Do we have any word on any boyfriends for Big Z yet?
My wife, who refuses to get in the picture right now, she knows all about that.
Dottie, come on, Dottie. We're going to have Dottie and Gordo Sheriffs here right now.
I want to say in relation to the team award that we also won, there's so many other people that the paper didn't list. And we wished they would have asked us first, but like Sheva and Frank and Isabel who got out when Steve wasn't there. I mean, there's just so many, and then obviously Jeannie and April who broke her and David who found her. So it's kind of like all these things. So we just wanted to mention a few more.
Well, they'll all be down there in Florida for the Eclipse Awards, hopefully.
Well, they'll be celebrating. I'm not sure where, but we'll make sure they're in a celebratory mood.
Boyfriends for Zenyatta. John, pass the baton to you.
Oh, well, we're still looking them over. We have our own bachelor game going on over here, so we'll make a decision very soon.
Do we have a short list even? Top 3?
Not public top 3, but I have a top 1, but so now we'll find out.
We know your top 1 is your husband, John, right here.
Exactly. For me, but Zenyatta, what can I say?
That's all for HRTV this week. Here's a look at what's coming up for next week.